Hi guys, True here, welcome to another True review. Today I'm bringing you the Troll and Otto on the Xbox One. It's priced at $39.99 in the UK and $49.99 in EU and US regions. Now let's get the basics out of the way before we get into this review, because this game is something special, but unfortunately not in a good way. So what do we have? It's a third-person adventure game. You play as Otto, a young boy who befriends the troll in the title. Otto goes hunting. When he's out hunting, his village gets burnt to the ground, and he flees and gets bumps into a troll which he's initially scared of, but then does befriend and sets up an adventure trying to find out what's happened to his mother. Both characters control very differently to one another. The Otto can obviously manipulate more delicate objects and climb up certain rock faces, while the troll can climb up more substantial rock faces, also pick up larger objects and kind of objects that create platforms for Otto to bypass further into the levels. Like for example, at one early point in the game, he picks up a plane wing which he sets down and makes a bridge in certain areas so Otto can progress further. It kind of has a very, very light Metroidvania vibe to it, where you have to find different colour shards which enable you to create explosive spears. For example, green spears will explode green rock formations, blue rock formations, so on and so forth. The game does have a very, very brief, uncomplicated crafting system there, where you can create the previously mentioned exploding spears and various different kinds of bludgeoning weapons. You also have health through food, which you can pick up through plants and foraging around. The troll works slightly differently by having abilities which restore his health as well. There's an upgrade system for both characters, and that is done by collecting idols. There's troll idols and Otto idols dotted throughout the game, and there's quite an awful lot of them, to be honest with you. And if you're going for all the achievements, you're going to have to collect probably well over 150 different collectibles from what I can gather. Now that's pretty much the basics of the game there, and graphically you can probably see it's not the best looking game, especially for this generation. If I'm being fair to it, I'd say it's a probably mediocre to subpar last generation looking game. Musically similar kind of fare, the voice acting's kind of passable, but the script's absolutely appalling. Gameplay wise is let down by the overall game design, which I'm going to get into right now. Within the first couple of hours of gameplay, these are the problems that I had experienced on more than one occasion. I mean, during the tutorial mission, the colour scheme bleeds to sepia when you go into Hunter Sense mode. The tracks you're going to follow are a colour which blends into the sepia colour tone, making it impossible to see. An on-rail QTE section controls appallingly. The camera is just all over the place, especially for a kind of on-rail section. Otto himself feels like he's not connected with the game world in that particular section. It feels like you're controlling a mouse marker left and right, and simply what you're supposed to do is press the A prompt when you get to a branch that needs hurdling or sliding under. But unless you're positioned on the right point, left or right of the branch or the thing you've got to jump over, the QTE won't actually succeed. Even if it shows your character vaulting over the obstacle successfully, you'll just land at the other side and just die for no explainable reason. And that section's very, very problematic, because you've got quite a lot of these obstacles to overcome, and all of them have got to be like millimeter precise perfection. It doesn't get better when we go into the next section of the game, with the screen kind of corrupting in various places as you slide down a slope, before we get into the next section where there's a missing A prompt on a very important piece of scenery which actually leads you to the next area of the game. And that's before we get into general problems such as screen tearing, the camera being one of the worst cameras I've come across in recent times. It's far too close to the characters, especially the troll, who's a huge bulking character. I mean, the troll cam, you may as well call it troll's backside cam, because it's that zoomed close into him. It's just a sight to behold. We've got screen tearing throughout. We've got foliage with no draw distance whatsoever. You can actually see it physically growing in front of you, like one of those sped up nature videos when you see a plant grow. Otto, it works like that. It's quite funny, to be honest with you. We've got, just to say, general screen tearing. You can see where map sections have been joined together. There's numerous clipping, especially when the characters interact with one another. Bosses that don't spawn, cutscenes or events that don't spawn, which prevent game progress, but there's no indication something is supposed to happen at that point, so you're left floundering around for a period of time before you decide to restart the game, and then it does happen the next time. We have cases of characters just falling through the map. Even when you're not controlling them, you can switch to one of the other characters and find them flailing around in a white void area, and this happens far too often. We've got a co-op system which allows you to drop in when you want, but you can't drop out without closing the game down fully, which is pure bonkers. And all this is for a premium price title. It's $39.99 in the UK. For that price, I can go out today and buy Mass Effect Andromeda. I can buy Resident Evil 7 for £5 cheaper than that, brand new. You can buy any title that's come out in the last 6 months for way cheaper than that, which has the AAA. I'm doing quote signs here, AAA moniker to it, and this seems to be a common theme with Maximum Games' output. They charge this premium rate price, and their products are anything but premium. Just a brief look at their past history. Their last few releases, Alakine's Gun, they're one of the most shambolic stealth games. It's just absolutely appalling. Just look it up. I've used some videos on YouTube. It's just so bad. Lichtenstein Battle Mage, similar. Usually buggy achievements, poor graphics, game glitches, problems galore. And Troll and I does unfortunately follow the same suit. Now, red flags were raised immediately with this game when the PR company, who was not one I actually heard of before, approached me and gave me a review code for the game, which I was very, very grateful for. And then they contacted me the next day saying, unfortunately, Maximum Games had miscommunicated things to them, and the game code would actually just enable you to download the game, and it wouldn't be available to play until release day, which is obviously a problem when you're trying to get a review out there for day of release, because it means that consumers have nothing to go on, because you obviously need time to review a game. I actually contacted the PR company back, and they actually did their part and contacted Maximum Games, copied me in the emails, and Maximum Games just said there wasn't issuing pre-order release codes to it. So it's definitely a red flag there if you wanting to have no coverage of your game available on day of release, because they're probably banking on quick fire sales or people just taking a punt on the product blindly, because once news gets out there of its shambolic quality, then people aren't going to touch us with a barge pole. I mean, this honestly is a game. I really hate berating games. I don't take any pleasure from giving games bad reviews. I want every game to be good because I'm a gamer at heart. I want products to be as good as they are. I want people to get value for money. But what I hate more than giving games bad reviews is I hate games companies trying to take advantage of consumers. And this is another clear case of this happening with Maximum Games. They're definitely one of the worst companies out there, and if their game's branded on anything, it's a flag there to be, buyer beware, to be honest with you. I coined the phrase a bit back, saying they did of another company who did premium price mediocrity. This is premium rate tat, as well as the other games that I mentioned. There's just no redeeming features of this game. It should be a less than £10 title. Instead, it's a £40 title. And even at £10, even if it was £10, I couldn't recommend this title. If it came Games with Gold, which is free on the Xbox, I couldn't even recommend you downloading it. It's that much of a travesty and a chore to play. The game is supposed to be fun at the end of the day, not a chore, not a struggle. The first few sections of the game, which all those problems I mentioned earlier occurred in, probably if they don't glitch, and probably when you know what you're doing and everything works as it should do, it's probably like a 30-minute section of the game. It's only about 3 hours to get through all of that because of the numerous problems. It's that bad and that much of an issue with things happening. So yeah, it's just one of the most, just don't even go anywhere near this game. So for that reason, I've given Troll and I a 1. I haven't given a 1 for quite some time, and I hope for, I hope it's quite some time before I give one again, but this is just a travesty of a game, and the price they're asking is just an absolute joke. So I hope that review helped make a decision on this game, and I'll catch you on the next review. Thanks for watching.